Smoking Anywhere Disposable e-cigarette. So what do you do if you are going to the airport and you're worried that your cigarette might get confiscated by security? Or if you're going, let's say, rock climbing or some other kind of sporting activity, and you're worried about your e-cigarette getting dropped, broken, smashed, whatever. Or your cigarette has gotten confiscated, dropped, broken, smashed, whatever. Wouldn't it be nice to have something cheap and disposable just for short-term use or to tide you over until you get yours fixed or replaced, or until you get home to where your spare supplies are? That's what this is good for. This is sold by Vapor Guys, www.vaporguys.com. It doesn't really have a brand name, but it says Smoking Anywhere prominently across the top. It sells for $9.99, 10% off with discount code Leaford, so $9, and you've got a cheap disposable cigarette, single-use battery, non-rechargeable, that you can keep in a purse or backpack, the back of a desk or of a locker, and just bring out on those occasions when you need it for short-term use. You have to break open this warning label, which instructs you to put in a cartridge because it comes with a blank dummy piece attached. Inside it, you have the e-cigarette and a blister pack with the 4 cartridges. Okay. All you do is remove the mouthpiece, take the rubber stopper out of one of the cartridges, and pop it on. And there you go. It is, in design, it is essentially a 401. Of course, I'm assuming it's a copy. It doesn't compare very well to an actual 401. When you remove the cartridge and look at the wick, you can see that the arch isn't very wide at all. Let's see, put it against my shoulder so that you can see it a bit more. Can't really focus. It's not very wide, so it doesn't have the distinctive wide wick of an actual 401. And the heating pot isn't as open as on a 401 either. Both of those do affect the vapor. Still though, it does do actually fairly well. That's in general. It does vary considerably. The first couple of them that I tried were just awful, maybe a 2 at best. I've actually had one that gave a 4 consistently, but on the whole they're fairly mediocre vapor-wise. But still, it is enough. It'll give you the nicotine that you need to get you through the next few hours. And the battery life will last pretty comparably to a pen style. So I wouldn't really recommend it. Certainly wouldn't recommend that somebody rely on something like this for general use. But like I say, for those special purpose, for emergency use, it's not bad at all. And so I would put it on the middle shelf. So again, that is the Smoking Anywhere disposable e-cigarette, $9 with the discount code Leaford at Vapor Guys, www.vaporguys.com. The performance measurements for the Smoke Anywhere electronic cigarette are somewhat mixed. Generally they're mediocre. There is one fairly high and one particularly low score. For vapor production, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give it a 3. It sometimes only will deliver a 2. Sometimes it'll give you a 4. In fact, I had one in particular that gave me that regularly gave me a 4 out of 5 for vapor. But in general, I'm going to split the difference and score it at a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. That's enough vapor to give you the nicotine that you need to get through the day, certainly, and enough to give you some of that psychological satisfaction, but it's really not enough to impress. The ease of draw, again, I'd put it in the mid-range. It's a 3. Some individual units will be a bit harder, but I haven't found any really that are anything lighter than a 3. Compared to other brands, that's about as hard as an Enjoy or other two-hole type pen style, or most 901s. The battery life is its best score. I give it a 4. You can get up to 100 usable 5-second inhalations, and that puts it about equivalent to a pen style. That's pretty impressive for a 401 battery, but bear in mind that it is non-rechargeable. Cartridge life is its lowest score. It only gets a 1. You get about 20 to 25 usable 5-second inhalations out of it. You can actually push that a bit higher, 30, maybe even 35, but they become a bit too thin and wispy. So 20 to 25 puffs per cartridge. That's pretty low, even for a mini. Really, usually only the 89 millimeter or smaller minis, super minis, score that low. Reliability and ease of use is another mediocre score. It really ought to have scored higher in this area because in theory all you do is pop on the cartridge and go. There's no recharging, no refilling. However, I had to take away points for a couple of reasons. One, the performance isn't absolutely consistent from unit to unit. That's always, of course, the case, but in this case, you just don't know exactly what you're going to get when you open the box. I've had 2 of them that were absolutely awful. Very hard draw, very little vapor production, really unusable. Most of them have been mediocre, but I had one that was excellent, would have been great for a regular 401. So the performance varies too much, and that takes away from the reliability score. On the ease of use end of it, the included cartridges really are basically unusable. They are extremely foul tasting. The first 2 I started filming with this today out of this package were actually fairly nice. I mean, not nice, but fairly tolerable. This particular one, the third one that I've used for filming, is nastier, really. Not quite cat's piss, but that phrase comes to mind. So I really would strongly suggest either using other 401 cartridges or simply drip smoking and using the dummy mouthpiece. Either way, it does take away from the no fuss, no muss nature of a disposable. And so that also takes away from the ease of use. Normally that wouldn't count against it. I mean, normally it wouldn't count against it that you use a different liquid that comes from the manufacturer, but in this case it does. So I give it only a 3, and that for reliability and ease of use, which averages out to 2.8 for overall performance average.